Good morning, everybody. All right, let's get some charts up here. I would assume today is going to be a day of catching the breath after that big drop. Second. I just looking for something here. All right, I thought so. I just wanted to double check economic reports. There's nothing of significance. A couple of auctions at 1 o'clock. There's a 2-year note. Probably not a big deal. Anyway, so look, there was Friday was nasty. Um, S&Ps there closed under the 50. You got plenty of support down here, so I don't think anything of significance is going to happen today. That's why I was just double checking the news. Um, One thing to let's keep an eye on over the coming days was that the last time we had this nasty drop like this, and the next drops they all rallied. Now is not the past, so I'm interested to see what they do as far as the reaction this time, which will tell us a bit more about the coming days, and of course tariffs, Israel, and so on, blah, 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 and so forth. Economic reports, inflation at the end of the week. Uh, when we didn't get any 1, 2, 3s, it was nasty drop, rally, nasty drop, rally, nasty drop. And then there was some news around here. There was the rally and this period of running in place, erratic price action, so on and so forth. So, one of the things we always talk about or refer to is okay, wide range bar to stay in the lower half. Well, we'll see, Dan. We'll see if we get them. Um, one day of stabilization, of course, is going to create a 1, 2, 3, meaning a wide range bar and an inside bar. That doesn't mean it won't go up. That's what I'm truly interested in, right? So it's on all of the support you can see on the 65-minute chart. It's stalled here for right now. Maybe a bias initially here to think, hey, some upside, for day trades up to minor resistance. Somewhere rattling around here. If we get intraday patterns that support that, that's all good. And can it get up there? Or, so look, part of the courses, right? Or MTS, so strategies, I call it a thought process because that's what we do as price pattern traders. So that could be one type of situation. How it goes up there could happen in an endless number of ways. But the basics of what we do and look at is okay, does it go up there? Does it stay in the lower half? Does it create resistance? We now have a price void up above, which is defined by a lack of resistance. So this has formed a pivot on the 65-minute chart. What's a pivot? A bar with 3 lower highs at a minimum to the left and right. So with that pivot being there, right, it's let's say, relatively insignificant compared to what happened on Friday, but it's created a reference point that if it's going to stay, just say in the lowest 25%, right, which would be extremely bearish, um, and it forms this pivot and a retest of that where it cannot get above that and comes back down, and we get choppy price action down here, would be bearish because the the sharp drop has created an opportunity for a counter trend move. And if that cannot materialize, it's bearish. If it goes all the way back up to the high, right? And initially you would say that's positive, but there's going to be sellers up there. So what's it going to do? Right? That's some people call this the hard right edge because we don't know what it's going to do, but we know based on historical patterns that certain outcomes are going to have guidance toward the future. Now, as we look at this chart, we've got such a mess of consolidation and pivots down here. So to anticipate that it's going to be choppy, to me, is common sense. And now we'll just see what happens. Right? So, what news comes out. Thursday is the big day as far as economic numbers, jobless claims, GDP growth, PCE, durable goods, blah, da, 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 da. So all eyes will be focused on that. Right? So for now, the same old, right? Wash, repeat. Look and see what opportunities there are, individual stocks, are they day trades, so on and so forth. Um, Internals, breadth deteriorated. It's not at an extreme, so no advantage there, but it's under the zero line now. It's bearish. Sentiment did not improve. No advantage there. So we need to see some put buying and some fear. Now, yes, we have some fear has materialized. The volatility index did pop up. It's not near resistance. So at least there wasn't the complacency based on a volatility index that, stayed low and didn't move. And so a little bit of a plus. There's not much there. The expectation is just like the wide range bar down, going lower. The expectation is probably goes up and it's not near resistance. So, the downside isn't over. That's, which I think most of us would believe that. Right? Transports, nasty day. It's on support. And we'll see what it does here. And I can't grab this thing. I don't know what goes on with that. Anyway, doesn't matter. It's on support. You see that weekly chart just whipping back and forth there. And so in the coming weeks, we'll see again what kind of follow through there is to Friday, what kind of retracement, whatever it's going to do, we'll see what it's going to do. Right now, for today, I would expect some attempt to try and go up, or just chopping around here. NASDAQ futures, same story. They held on the 50 there, and we got to look at the Qs. Those futures and reference points of moving averages are less relevant as opposed to looking at an ETF or the cash market. Now, when we'll look at SPX and so on and so forth, but lots of support. That's a positive. Right? Whereas it didn't run up, it didn't have. I didn't want to do that anyway. It did not have, a trending market where it was going up in some kind of an accelerated move like this, right? Where it created a lack of support underneath, and then it had to come all the way down here before it began to stabilize. Okay? So while wide range bars are wide range bars, this one doesn't equal this one. Right? And just because this one was bigger and this one is smaller doesn't mean that this one won't have a similar decline, maybe percentage wise. It'll just happen in a different way. Dow futures, this is the one that has more potential to really get shellacked because it was stronger. It doesn't have all of that support. So it'll may still go up today. You can see it's kind of grinding its way up toward that minor resistance area. And we'll see what it does in coming days. There was a lot of hope that the small caps could participate and we'd get some more upside when there was this, fractional all-time new highs. for the S&P and just tried to hold on. And, buyers just said, you know what, let's just get out of the way and see what materializes in the coming days and weeks. And that's essentially where we are with pretty much everything. Gold broken up to new all-time highs. It's kind of grinding its way there. Now, crude oil had a nasty day on Friday, and it's got some room to drop. This could be the silver lining in a sense, meaning um, the tariffs, inflation, yada yada yada. We all know the story. Um, Slowing economy, prices go up, people spend less, economy slows, companies make less money, right? Stock market goes down. Right? So stock market goes down, things get bad, reemergence of, hey, should we cut interest rates? Right? Fed is like, oh, we're not going to do nothing. There's no reason to do. Well, things get ugly. They'll think about cutting interest rates. So oil going down, that's good. Less inflation, less costs. That's in the short term, that's kind of market reacting negatively all around. Intermediate term, it'll be a positive. Right? Transports will stabilize, less cost for energy, so on and so on and so forth. Right? Interest rates went down on Friday. Markets went down. So the help of lower interest rates didn't help on Friday. Bearish. Right? And so money went into bonds, interest rates go down, they're on support. Everybody's waiting to see what they're going to do. Our interest rate's going to go lower, economy slowing, blah, 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 bad recession, market goes down. Fed eventually says, hey, maybe we need to cut interest rates. Everybody's going bananas because they don't know what the hell's going on. And so the charts need to develop and create further information for us. A week or so ago, we talked about the potential for this measured move lower. There was this rejection here, interest rates going up. It was like, okay, that should be a positive. Well, yeah, but it's happening in a way different than maybe what was anticipated at that time. But now we'll see, based on this pattern here, whether interest rates actually decline down to this level, which if they, they do, it'll start putting a floor under the markets, and we'll come back in coming weeks to see if all that support in the S&P held or not, or whatever happened. Right? All right, let's finish this up and hand it over to Dan. So we look at where the spiders are, and we see the same story. They're here. These held by a hair on the 50 MA. That's why you need to use SPX and SPY and QQQ for your reference points of moving averages, which subjective. These are simple. They're not exponential, and so on. If the downside continues, we've got an unfilled gap down here. You want to set an alert. Be aware of that. And SPX, where it was before I came on, things moved down tremendously. Remember last week when this thing was going up, I said, hey, the futures aren't going up and the call strike isn't jumping. I was like, that's unusual. Maybe it's a bad sign. It turned out to be a bad sign. So prices are around here. They're not going up there today. You like the way I say that, as if you can bet your life on it. And there's no reason for it to go up there today. Let's just say that. So no expectation for it to go down there. And because of the wide range bar, no significant news unless we get a surprise. It's highly unlikely it's going down there either. And I think institutions would biting their nails, hoping that it holds the 50, at least in the short term, as a pivot. And so there isn't a lot of support down there, as you can see. But this 6,000 level, we've been talking about it a long time. It's got the big open interest in calls and puts. So kind of a pinning or the battleground of option traders, and it held above the 6,000. So if it breaks down a little bit below that, it's probably going to get pulled up a little bit, and so on until that works itself out. All yours, Dan.
So we Said that on Friday. Big old move down. What Greg just covered, but we're hoping for a 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4 to continue our bearish buys. And so everything's playing out. Doesn't surprise me. We're gapping up. When I first looked at the market, when I saw, all the indexes up, I'm like, oh man, just in my head, I was thinking it was a 50% gap. But it's not at all. They're all under 15. So, that's still holding a bearish continuation case if we don't close above 50. Yeah, I have that on my list here. I saw Nike, so a little continuation pattern. Not a great one, but I like pre-market. It's just up a lot. It's up a lot, and so the reward to risk I don't like is a swing. But day trade, yeah, 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 I got it right here. Um, Not many earnings. Let me do alarms like I always do first. SMCI, we're giving as a call spread. Baba here was in the news. I don't know about spending some money or something. But that's a Climo, and now with the gap down, we got our turn. The calls are jacked very nicely. So I just said, you know what? Let's wait 15 minutes, 15-minute low. Then we can, I mean, I don't know what the premiums are going to be, but as of right now, the $5 wide 150s are over $1. That's massive. So I had to double check earnings. They were so big. Um, but I mean, maybe there was some pending news, which is why they were jacked like that. CMCL low alarm. This is a little, well, I don't see any volume. But we've been in this way since back here, this little bottoming pattern right there at 970 we got in. So we still have a nice open gain. We'll see where it opens. Soon alarm. This is a continuation pattern. It has earnings, I think, this week. I think this is wrong. But, nasty pro gap and couldn't bounce. Target 200 MA. So 200 MA, a $10 stock is 20%. It's huge. HCC alarm. We're in trail mode on this. I think we only have a third left. So I'll keep an eye on this. Put it in a window. And earnings here, not many. I think I saw a lower third on the news say that 80, it was either 84% of S&P 500 is reported already or that has beaten earnings estimate. I don't know, something like that. Wilk, this is a continuation breakdown. So this is earnings. Let's put it in a window, see what it does in the first 30 minutes. But I got a bearish bias on that. Look at weekly, monthly. Nasty downtrends. This is a failed W bottom. It did take out last week's high and got slammed. But yeah, I don't know. That's not a good W, obviously, on the daily. Summit, nothing. Citigroup, nothing. LANC, nothing. I mean, it was very difficult getting good swing setups. I think today, if our alarms hit, then trigger will take them. But mostly, I think it's a day trading day. Costs nothing. All right, this one, Hub, I just texted if it opens flat, then I like it as a continuation short. That's a nasty trading range consolidation and a downtrend. And as Greg mentioned, it was strange with yields falling that this got whacked so bad. I mean, XHP got whacked on Friday. Man, same, has room to fall. BCRX, nothing. CWEN, nothing for me. Pizza Hut, 440. No pattern, but we'll come back to it. FTP, bearish gap. Looks lower. We got that 200 right there. Twilio. Twilio. Some guy emailed me last week saying, hey, I'm short puts. I'm sorry, I'm long puts. And I'm like, good. He's like, where should I take my profits? I said, simple. Trail over prior bars high. So it's a buy setup and support. So now I've got an upgrade. So I said over, I like it as a directional and a put spread. But again, Mondays and the gap up in the market and so forth, I just arbitrarily said, let's just wait 15 minutes and then over Friday's high. Nee McGraw actually texted me this with all his fundamental stuff. I said, yeah, it's bottoming, and the weekly and monthly are at good spots. It's up 4 bars, but it's bottoming, yeah. So I'll keep an eye on that, see if we can get an entry. He sent me this one too, KTOS. I said, there's no entry. There's no entry. I said, just keep following it lower. That's a nasty 180 on the monthly there. So I don't think that's going to be making a new high anytime soon. This thing, Milgo, exploded on Friday on volume. It could be a day trade toy. Berkshire, I thought I heard somebody say they had earnings. It's bullish. Daily, weekly, monthly. Well, maybe 30-minute high. Berk.B. I think GDS was another Climo. But the gap looks excessive, but that's another call spread idea. And short idea on a bounce. Pelletier, breakout failure. Now it's gapping down another $5. I mean, this thing just got ahead of itself. I mean, look at that. Look at this thing, ran from $7 to 120 something. And you still have people, what do I call them? The Angelicas, just keep buy. This thing's never going to retrace. Look at that friggin' volume I just noticed. 129 million shares on this thing. And that's not even a big bar on Friday compared to Thursday. Wow, I didn't know that stock was that active. Oracle I see up, but no pattern, no swing pattern, that's for darn sure. Early gap up. Yeah, I saw Spider. I said the same thing on diamonds. When I woke up, they were up 300 and they gave almost half of it back or whatever. Yeah, so the good thing is I'm in no rush to do anything this morning, which I like because usually Mondays I am slam crazy, opens and new trades. All right, let's just go up here and see what we got for watch list items. Get lists. Ideally, we get a 1, 2, 3, and then a short. Tomorrow, Campbell Soup. A lot of these safety stocks were ripping. Look at daily, weekly, monthly. I say that this is kind of a double bottom, new low reversal. So the problem is the daily's up 3 bars, but that's a watch on a pullback. TJX had positive Barron's article, but no pattern. I think Tapestry did too, but no pattern. RSG. Greg mentioned this in his video, I think, but that's holding pretty darn well. Relative strength. Yeah, Greg mentioned these in the weekend video. So I always write down the ones that I like. Maxell, this is Sam, sell setup. TMF, bonds. It's HCC. Let's move stop. 5-minute time. All right, Mountain. We're in trail mode short. We have a third left. Yeah, it's HCC. Yeah, that's a bullish cap. So don't like it. All right, I said hub. Let's see where that's opening. Hub. And no pattern. Gap down and it's bouncing. All right, our mountain. That was an early alarm, so we're still fine. Mountain. First up is 160.12. Let's see how Twilio came back. So I said wait 15 minutes, so that could be perfect entry soon. Yeah, exactly. The gap down is going to mess up our limit entry on that. MXL, I triggered MXL as a go. So relative weakness with the market gapping up, this gap down a few pennies. SMCI is a go if filled. Mr. Low alarm. We're short this. Nice. IWM falling the hardest. Look at that 5-minute chart. Wow, look at the hourly chart of Mr. Wow, he's just a 65, but look how bearish that is. And that's my pre-market data, so that skews it a little bit, but look at all those nasty bars from Friday. AMD low alarm. This was a call spread. That's good to go if filled. Let me check. Yeah, no, there's no way it's gonna be filled because I said, well, I say no way, but I gave it at the same closing price. Triple M call spread. Come on, internet. I got my laptop. I'm having internet problems on both computers. I just got disconnected on my laptop. It says my internet's unstable. I went to T-Mobile and got their trying out their 5 gig whatever wireless. But my big computer is still hardwired on Comcast and it's acting up too. Blob. Um, well, it's a day trade idea. All right, Albanian I see is still moving lower. That looks horrible. But Bravo is triggering. I forget, was this official or just idea? It's official, so 76.44. All right, so we're starting off here. See why I was in a hurry, especially for longs. So we've had 3 shorts trigger. Next. Now AMKR, we're buying puts. Buying the March 23.59. So that tells me Yeah, that tells me there was a business combination. ADP up alarm. That was from last week. I just kept it on my list. ADP. Oh yeah, still worth watching. Yeah, we were gonna buy it over that high. We never did, but I kept it on the list. Relative strength. Man, H alarm. I've just been watching this for a few weeks. No setup yet. And our mountain is hanging in there fine. What about this thing? CMCL. All right, we already have our stop. Just let it play out. But at least it didn't. Our stop is fine. HCC. Um, you know what? I think we need to get out of this on this pullback because that's a bullish gap. Oh, 65 minutes. Yeah, but you should be filled because of the intrinsic value thing calculation. Thanks real quick. Charlie Mike is fine. CMCL we looked at HCC on is long. Mighty Mo stop break even. They're good. You know, we got $22 open game. Let's go ahead and no stop break even. All right, what's our first third target on Mr. Mister? How about 290? Another another $6 lower. Frankie's asking me, am I any near any power cables? No. I mean, it depends how you define near, right? But no, I can't see anything. And actually, my street, no, I'm in a nice rich neighborhood and they're actually all buried. There might be some residual ones somewhere, but no, I got a buried cable net or power cable in my room. Nice bearish reaction to that gap up.
SMHs are holding up relatively well. They could be a scalper long above the high of the day. NVIDIA is holding for the moment. Apple's holding up.
Go daddy, low alarm. We're not in it, but I know in my head what it looks like, and it's approaching the 200. See that? So it's still not ready. So now I just lower it, my alarm, up and down. I'm gonna lower it to 168. And up alarm 175. Wow, this LEU, we gotta cancel. That was, I mean, some of our longs in the weekend letter, they were under the rationale of it's gonna be really hard to trigger. And that was one. It had to get over Friday's high. But now I'm gonna cancel it. I'll still keep it on the list, but common sense, you ain't gonna buy it over Friday's high now. And then look at Twilio and deep retracements, so cancel that. ALSL. Yeah, it's fine. Verizon T. Greg, did you save my MT Live for next week?
No.
Don't sound so excited. You're gonna like it. It's some bar by bar. Emitter, we're still in. November, India, we're in. Stock Friday's low. Rock is on probation. We did half a lot. TTD, friggin' disaster. Man, look at that thing, Greg. Varex. Stopped out. Info. Day trade only. I personally don't like shorting into those WRBs, but I do like the gap reversal Friday and today. It's down a lot from the pre-market gap, but stop high, market weak, so sure. Mr. just hit our first target. Mr. Wow, looks like I got got it out early, but it's still a $30 gain. I know it was totally arbitrary, but I gave it $6 lower than when I posted the post 6 minutes ago. It already fell $6. So yeah, it's falling with Bitcoin, obviously. No, stop this little pre-market little bump. 305.22. I mean, what's our next third target on this? I have no idea. How about um how about 265.50? You know, just to have an order out there. WST. It's bottom fishing, but relative strength. You know, I'd rather just trade with the markets here myself. But maybe a put idea. But I would wait to see if it closed like it. So the tiers getting whacked. Look lower. I mean, I heard, somebody said their PE was off the charts. That's a nasty gap, GDS. Berkshire ripped. Wow, Berkshire ripped. Pre-market, it was gapping resistance, and I was gonna say, I don't know, 5, 10, 15-minute high. But man, daily, weekly, monthly, look at that bad boy. Baba, I gave 15-minute low, which obviously is past. I have no idea what premiums were because I wasn't looking. But it was like $5 ago. So I would look at, instead of the 150s, the 145s. Yeah, there's no way I'm getting filled. No way, Jose. Did we get fill on that? But nice pattern, nice climb. Nice climb. See, and these we gotta cancel. Rocks, we're gonna cancel now. This one's still good. LELAU, I canceled already. D and L. Looks good. It's 1, 2, 3. If it triggers soon. Yep, you're not gonna get the premium shoot. I'm sorry, you're not gonna get the limit on the put. Shoot. But nice pattern. Nice pattern for short. Nutson cancel. That was another one where it would have been hard to trigger. The entry was Thursday's high. So see, we do that on purpose because I had a bearish bias. But if that took out Thursday's high, guess what? Something's up on the bullish side. Cancel this. Relative strength. Yeah, my up alarm just went off. PSEC. PSEC. We cancel. This was another one. Well, this one wouldn't have been hard to trigger, but I don't want it anymore. PSEC. So they're all triggers. It's a nasty turn from that capo. Look at Ed, bottom right. Ah, that was from Friday, bottom right. Remember Mr. Ed? I was hoping for a 1, 2, 3.